Okay, the results are in. In the case of the yet unborn Titanfall, Call of Duty, you are not the father. Hey guys, Anthony here, and welcome to Quick Shock. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Titanfall Beta. Yes, the Titanfall Beta went open live on Xbox One a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, whatever it was, and I'm going to talk about it. I got my hands on an Xbox One. I'm borrowing it from somebody for a project, so I figured I'd download some of the stuff for it, like the beta for Titanfall, and check it out. And what do I think? First off, I just want to talk about the game itself and not comparing it to anything else. You know that's coming. Everyone's been doing that. So first off, Titanfall, the beta. A lot of fun. It's an action-packed, crazy time shooting game in the vein of Call of Duty. We'll get into that in a little bit, but you're going to hear me say that a lot of times, just like Call of Duty. This game is that kind of game where it's run, shoot, die, respawn, keep going. It's fast-paced action, and it's a lot of fun. The Titans are awesome. You can call them down, and you call them down all the time, jump in them. You can do all this crazy stuff, just jump in, get in. You feel powerful when you get inside the Titans, and that's good. Yeah, as far as the gameplay and everything, it was fun. It feels perfectly solid, and you expect that from these guys at Respawn. You know, they came from the team at Infinity Ward, and they have solid controls. I've always said that the Call of Duty series has solid game feel. Yeah, so in the beta, there's a couple of maps, and they're pretty cool. A lot of the maps are very vertical. Now, that's what this game's biggest thing is, you know, the parkour, jumping up on buildings, double jumping all over the place. And this game feels really good. I've heard a lot of people compare it to, like, Quake and those Unreal Tournament, those older games where you could jump around really fast, and I can kind of see that. It's like a mix of the Call of Duty feel and the Quake feel, where you can get around really fast. There was a part where I ran on one building, another building, another building, another building, another building, and then got up on the roof, and I felt like a badass at that moment. There's some skill to it, and that feels really good. There's only a few weapons in the beta, so I didn't get to check out a ton of those. There's some rocket launchers, machine guns, pistols. There's this smart pistol thing, which I didn't really care for. It seems weird. Maybe I need some more time with it. So graphically, here's the thing. I understand it's a beta. I do. Okay, so it's going to get better. There's a ton of detail in the environments. This and Call of Duty. I know I keep comparing it to that. I'm sorry, but both of those games, while the graphics engines, you know, Call of Duty's on id Tech 3, the old whatever they made, Titanfall's on the Source engine, and the game has tons of detail in the environments. Like the skybox, there's so much stuff going on. There's ships flying by. There's this, Titans are falling down. There is a ton of shit going on. I mean, that's as far as graphics go. You know, graphics don't matter always, but if it's specifically coming out on the Xbox One, which I played it on, I wasn't too impressed with the graphics. Actually, it kind of reminded me of Quake 4. Here, I'll put up some gameplay of that. I can't explain why it made me feel like that. I understand it's a beta. I hope when the new stuff comes out, it really improves it and it looks good. Another thing I got to experience was the whole players and AI on the same map. In Titanfall, there's AI characters running around the battlefield, as well as player-controlled characters. Now, I was afraid the AI characters were going to be about the same as the player-controlled characters as far as power, and I know a lot of people were concerned on how that would work and all that stuff. I'm happy to report that the AI characters are pretty much cannon fodder. Like, they just populate this thing and make it feel bigger than it really is, because really you can run up and murder 3 of them before they even get a couple of shots on you, at least in the game modes that I've played. I was concerned that having the AI characters kind of takes away that personal feeling of fighting against the human characters. You know, you get that vendetta of that guy who keeps killing you, you want to go get him, and if it's an AI guy, well, what good is that? But it didn't affect it in that way. There's a big difference between the pilot characters, which are the players, and the cannon fodder guys just running around populating. It's really just a part of the level, and you can get points from it. And also with the whole 6-on-6 thing, I rarely didn't find a person to shoot. We always ran into other people. There was always a Titan to fight and always another player-controlled character to shoot. I honestly think you could put more characters in there and it would still work. Maybe they'll do it in a Call of Duty thing where the main games are a certain level, but then there's a big game type with a lot of people. So yeah, overall, it's fun. Is it going to be the next big thing in the world? I don't know. This game is, like I said, made by Respawn Entertainment, which most of the people there are former Infinity Ward employees who made Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2 and all that stuff. God, does it show, though. You can tell it's that developer. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I don't know. Literally everything in Titanfall looks like a Call of Duty game. The way the guns reload, when you die you have a kill cam, the loadout screens, the loading screens, everything looks like a Call of Duty game. From just a design standpoint, I wish they had separated themselves a little more from the design choices they made, you know, in Call of Duty 4 and those games, because I feel like Call of Duty is kind of getting old now. People are hating on Call of Duty these days because it hasn't changed in a long time. I wonder if this game is too similar to the point where, you know, it'll work against Titanfall. Once people get their hands on it, they're like, oh, it's just Call of Duty with robots. The verticality of the levels are different. It's nice. The amount of movement you have is very different. But the feeling of the game is so similar, I don't know if people will look at it and go, I'm kind of getting tired of Call of Duty, and this is more of the same. I can see the argument both ways. It's very different, but it's also very similar, and I hope that doesn't work against Titanfall, because going into this beta, you know, and I've been saying this before, Titanfall is going to be the next big game. It's going to be the next Halo, the next Call of Duty. And after playing it, I hope it's not riding the wrong wave. I hope it's not riding the wave of Call of Duty that is about to fall, and I don't know if Titanfall will go with it. Get it? Fall and it... But anyways, that's what I think about the Titanfall beta. If you guys have played it at all, leave a comment below and let me know what you think. If you haven't played it, but you've just looked at trailers, tell me, are you excited for Titanfall? It's coming soon. And are you going to pick it up, whether or not for the Xbox One, 360, or even PC? And also, like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date on everything we're doing. I'll see you guys next time.